Hey guys, Dean here, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the most profitable niches on YouTube. Not many people know that dependent on which niche you choose, so be it things like gaming, money and finance and business, tech, or beauty for an example, will actually determine exactly how much money you make on YouTube as a YouTuber on the platform. So today I'm going to be giving you some real life examples from actual YouTubers showing how much the earnings are in each different specific niche, and then for those that we miss or don't have any data on, I'm going to show you a spreadsheet showing examples that people can be making in those certain niches. Now all this information is actually taken from a book called The YouTube Secret. This has all the information I've learned over around 10 years on YouTube and 2 to 3 years full time on YouTube with over 100,000 subscribers on my main channel. The specific information is from this chapter called Laying the Foundation, where we talk about niches. If you're interested in the book, you can get that down below. It's only $1.99 and you can learn all my secrets from YouTube. But now let's jump into the video. So I've actually prepared and edited a video which is a compilation of different clips from YouTubers from different niches telling you how much money they're making. And what I've gone ahead and done is I've actually calculated the RPM that each YouTuber is making. So you have the CPM, which is the amount of money you make per 1,000 views before YouTube takes the cut, and you have the RPM, which is how much the creator makes after YouTube takes the cut. Now what I've gone ahead and done is I've shown you the RPM figure, which it shows on their YouTube studio, which is their takeaway money. But usually the actual revenue would have been double, but YouTube don't show that because they take around 45%, I believe. So first of all, we're going to start off with a finance niche, and I'm going to give a little bit of a commentary, but I'm going to show you a few clips from YouTubers in this niche and how much money they're making. Now you'll notice that a lot of these YouTubers are making different figures even though they're kind of in the same niche, and this is going to be their average RPM figure. But certain different sub niches of a blanket niche will also make different money. So for an example, dropshipping might have a crazy high RPM, whereas other finance videos might have like a few dollars less or a few dollars more, and certain videos on certain topics will get them more money. So the average RPM is going to be different and the money they make per video is going to be different, and you'll see it in this video.
45 videos, so it's not like a huge amount of money, but like bro, literally I made more money in dropshipping than this.
The channel earned 0 in Q1 because it wasn't monetized yet. In Q2 it was monetized on April 16, and thanks primarily to the success of the few videos that I discussed, the channel earned $7,274. The best earnings per day were 3 days at the beginning of June, where earnings peaked at about $335 today.
So overall, for the lifetime of this channel, let's see how much we made. Almost 600,000.
So this guy, as you can see, was muted. I did show his revenue figures, and you can see he was making $6,500 from only 270,000 views, which is actually pretty crazy. That's actually more revenue than my main gaming channel, which has 1.1 or 1.2 million views per month. So he's literally making a lot more money than me with like a fifth or a sixth of the views, which just really goes to show how crazy he is in comparison to the different niches, right?
What exactly was my average RPM? Because for a channel my size to earn over $362,000 on YouTube from ads in 1 year is kind of crazy, considering that there are channels about 5 times my size who are still not earning this much from ads.
Right now we're making about $2,000 a month. We've got roughly 13.8K subscribers.
Most days get anywhere from 300,000 to 400,000 views, and that translates to an income of anywhere from $2,000 per day on the low end to $13,000 per day on the high end. And in the last 28 days, the channel has made about $200,000.
So as you can see, each of these finance YouTubers are kind of in the same niche, but they're still making different money, and for the most part, most of them are actually in America. Now this first YouTuber called Mohammed, who's quite a new YouTuber, I think he's in Canada, so I'm not sure if his revenue is measured in Canadian dollars, which might be a little bit different to USD, right? So you have to take that one with a grain of salt. I think his revenue is in Canadian dollars, so you're gonna have to convert that. But he's got an RPM of $14, whereas this finance channel called William Lee, who's a new YouTuber as well, he has $8. Then Bia Heza, who's one of the biggest dropshipping YouTubers, in this older video he had $14.39. Then probably the highest RPM I've seen here from this channel called Make Money Matt. He has $24 per 1,000 views that he's making, followed by Joshua Mayo, who has $21.20, which is also an extremely high figure. He makes videos on like passive income and side hustles, that kind of sub niche, which generally pays more. Ryan Mayer, a fairly new creator, $12.50 per 1,000 views. He has some dropshipping videos. Graham Stephan, probably the biggest finance YouTuber, makes $15. So some of the bigger YouTubers make less. It really depends what kind of videos people make, and if they make videos which are more higher paying in general, that boosts up the average RPM. So now let's move on to another niche. So we have productivity here.
That's pretty wild, 9.5 million views. And then the estimated revenue, well, AdSense revenue is $33,000.
So productivity is kind of the same between the two. So we have Olia, who's making $3.50. So that's a lot of money, but 9 million views is also a lot. So he's making $3.50 for productivity. And then we also have Ali Abdul, who's probably the biggest productivity YouTuber. He's making $4.87. But the reason his is a little bit higher on average is he also has some finance and money videos too, which is why it's boosted up a little bit on average than, say, Olia's, for an example. Then we have the beauty niche next.
I've earned about 148,000 euros. I still have mine set in euros because I was living in Ireland.
So it's quite surprising that beauty is actually around $6 per 1,000 views. Now, I've converted this value because she had the figure in euros because she was living in a European country. So I've converted that into dollars just for the RPM. Even though you see in the European figures here, this converts to like $6 per 1,000 views.
Right there, you can see it. My ad revenue for 2021, $250,000.
And then the last one is the fitness niche. This is the YouTuber Matt Does Fitness. So he's made $250K from 45 million views. If we go from $1 for the RPM, 45 million views would be $45,000. But we would divide 250,000 by 45,000, and that gives us $5.53 RPM, which is lower than I typically thought for the fitness niche. But he also has things like challenges and eating videos, which typically lower the RPM on average as well. So it's not just the niche you're in, it's also the total of the videos you make that actually calculates your average RPM. So if you make like 80% videos as fitness, which have like a $10 RPM, but 20% of your videos are like mukbang and eating food videos, which might be like a $3 RPM, then it's going to lower the average RPM for your channel and your earnings in general, okay? So that's just some examples of what different YouTubers in these different categories make. And it just goes to show if you pick a higher paying niche, you're not going to have to get as many views to make as much money, and it's not going to be as hard to actually live. So that's just how impactful this is. Now, for a few of the other niches where I didn't find clips as examples from other YouTubers, I'm also going to give you an example here with this spreadsheet. I also do want to mention with gaming channels, you're looking at like a $1 all the way up to like on the high end, like $7 RPM. But for most channels, it's around like $1 to $2 or $1 to $3. The higher RPMs are more so for mobile games, so that's quite a low paying niche. But as we move on to the spreadsheet here, we have the health, which is probably into the kind of fitness niche as well. That's $5 to $20. We're not talking about RPM on this spreadsheet, we're talking about the CPM. So this is before YouTube takes the cut. So you would half this usually for the RPM because YouTube takes 45% of the revenue and you're left with a majority of 55%. So we're going to be looking at the CPM on here. So this isn't the takeaway money, but it's going to give you an idea of the CPM YouTubers make. So we're looking at like a $5 to $20 CPM for the health niche. Then we have the wealth niche, that's finance and money again. This is all the way up from like $15 to $50. It really depends on the channel. Some of these luxury channels that kind of make videos about celebrities, they might have a lower RPM because they're kind of talking about more entertainment subjects rather than making money. So marketers aren't going to be spending as much to advertise their infomercials and products on there. Happiness, this is like faith, confidence, relationship content. That's like a $1 to $5 CPM. Travel videos, we're looking at like $10 to $30 CPM. And the takeaway money is usually like $7 or something like that. I've had a few travel videos. The RPM was like $5 or $6. Then the technology, we have $16 to $20. That's pretty high paying CPM. Niches about animals. Now, this says here $1 to $10, but this can be definitely on the high end. I've made some videos on like mystical animals and stuff like that. The RPM in pounds was like £7 something. And at one point it was like 9 to 10 pounds. So that's like $13. That's like $10 to $13. That's a pretty high RPM, depending on what type of content you make. That's actually quite unknown that this actually can be pretty high for that niche. Celebrity niche, that's like celebrity gossip, $1 to $5. Cars, $5 to $15. And food, $5 to $10 on average CPM. Now, this spreadsheet, I'm going to link it down below in the comments below. I found this on Google. I don't know who made this spreadsheet, so I'm not going to take the credit for it. But it's more so aimed at YouTube and also blogs and then revenue, and it also has information about like what kind of money you can expect for sponsorships in these niches based on how high the brands will actually pay. So it's a pretty cool actual spreadsheet to take a look at. So I hope this video was useful and it kind of gave you guys some insights about how much money you can make if you become a YouTuber and how much money you can make in certain different niches and how it will be different based on the topic and interest you actually make videos about, which is something people should actually take note of and actually consider when making content, because you need to find that perfect balance of passion and profit. So talk about something that you you like to do and that is actually your interest, but also that pays well. Otherwise, it's going to be an uphill battle. I talk about all this information and more in my book called The YouTube Secret, and all the lessons I learned from making YouTube content and taking it seriously in the past 3 years, and also from creating and consuming content on YouTube for more than 10 years. This has all the lessons that I've learned along the way, as I've gained over 100,000 subscribers on my main gaming channel, and you can replicate all this success quickly, skip the hurdles and hardships, and get this book for $1.99. There's a ton of value in here, so if you're interested, click on the link down below. But I also have a ton of free content on my YouTube channel that you can watch entirely free as well. Make sure to like this video if it was useful, drop a comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you real soon.